Hey everyone, I'm Sophia with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. It would really be convenient if everyone in the church just got along perfectly and never had any disagreements. But obviously, that isn't reality. In order for any community to function, there has to be rules and regulations, and that leads to conflict. Today's saint and pope, Pius V, led the church with strict discipline in a time of great uncertainty. Pope Pius was born in 1504 in Italy as Antonio Ghislieri. He could have taken up some kind of job in order to help support his family, but he felt called to religious life and entered the Dominican order when he was 14, taking the name of Michael. He received his education there and was ordained around 10 years later. For the next 16 years, Michael worked as a priest and taught theology. He regularly abstained from food, comfort, and even conversation with others, preferring to dedicate his time to prayer and meditation. He ascended to the position of bishop in 1556, and after demonstrating a passionate opposition to heresy, he was made an inquisitor and cardinal. Antonio visited Rome often to fulfill his many responsibilities, so it came as little surprise to some when he was elected to the papacy in 1566, taking the name Pius V. He began his work as pope with immediate changes to the use of church money. Funds that were before scattered randomly were intentionally distributed to hospitals and those most in need. Money that would have been spent funding a great banquet to celebrate his coronation was also given to the convents in need of financial aid. Pius remained staunchly against all forms of corruption and disobedience to church law. He intentionally avoided putting his family members in positions of power, as was tradition of the time, and imposed more strict guidelines regarding the duties of priests and bishops. His reforms were wide-reaching and unbending. The greatest example of Pius's complete intolerance for heresy was in the matter of the Protestant Reformation. At the time, the Protestants were gaining traction in many countries, including Germany, France, and England. Queen Elizabeth I was herself a Protestant and ruled over an England that persecuted Catholics. Pius wasn't one for half measures, and in response to the Queen's behavior, he formally excommunicated her, releasing her subjects from any obligation of loyalty to their sovereign. While his actions made the Church's stance clear, it also had the effect of bringing to the forefront the growing religious conflict. Many used his decree as justification to take persecution to further extremes, beginning an era of great difficulty for many English Catholics. Pius would regrettably not live to see the end of the conflict. His health declined in his late 60s and he died in 1572. He was later canonized in 1712 by Pope Clement XI. It's difficult to strike a balance between sticking to principles of our faith and being understanding of those who don't share our views. Pius most likely didn't want to excommunicate Queen Elizabeth, but if he hadn't acted, her legislation would have continued to suppress the Catholic faith. At the end of the day, we should always strive to make it clear to others what we believe and back it with tangible actions, no matter their personal rejection. St. Pius V, pray for us.